So, Prof, clearly Sierra Leone kind of set the foundation of changing your whole tract of thinking. From there, you moved on to Nigeria. Was there kind of more affirmation, a solidification of the things that you had already seen in Sierra Leone that were kind of cemented into your ideas and thoughts and theology going to Nigeria? Explain some of that process.
Well, very much so, in the sense that one thing, I started with the assumption, yes, I was looking at church history in Sierra Leone. You can't do that without looking more at the country itself, its background, its cultural background, the pre-Christian religion. And so gradually I was finding my studies expanding, and a move to Nigeria made it even more so. Here, a very large, newly independent country, full of activity, full of all sorts of things happening all around you. Finding myself now in a public university, finding myself in charge of Department of Religious Studies in a national university, which in a country which was about half Christian, half Muslim, but where...
Even then in 1962, the same demarcations.
Well, certainly here was a country in which there were large numbers of Muslims and there were growing numbers of Christians. Generally speaking, the numbers of Christians had been underestimated.
Right.
The colonial government in the north in particular had thought the spread of Islam would on the whole be a valuable part of stabilization. But a national university obviously had to take account of both. It also had to take account, at least it seemed to us, if the study of religion was to go further, that Muslims should look at Christian material, Christians should look at Muslim material, so each should do a course in the other side, and that each should be looking at the pre-Christian religion of Nigeria, the underlay for both Christians and Muslims. So this developed new, again, new interests. One of the other things that one began to realize that was not so obvious in Sierra Leone was the enormous rate at which the move towards the Christian faith had been going on in West Africa widely. Nigeria was a case in point.
And this was an indigenous movement.
Yes, there are all sorts of ways in which it showed up, but certainly you were conscious. This is a very vigorous movement, very energetic, and when I eventually came back to Britain, I'd been pretty well a decade away, I suddenly realized I was moving from a more Christian country to a less Christian country. That in fact over the period in which I had been away, active Christian faith had lost ground. I didn't realize how much at first, but certainly what I was missing was the vigor and activity of African Christianity. And well, you would the number crunching hadn't been done, or certainly wasn't as sophisticated in those days. But even the anecdotal evidence and the evidence of what you saw every day, you began to realize this is where the Christians are.
Mm.
This is where the church is growing.
Mm.
This is going to have an impact that we used to think belonged to the Christian West.